Hello friends, it's another week and we are back with another edition of Quick Tip videos brought to you by dataplatformcentral.com. In this weekly edition we are going to see a Power BI Quick Tip on utilizing XMLA endpoints to create and deploy Power BI models. This was one of the enhancements which was announced in Power BI as a part of Power BI becoming a superset of Azure Analysis Services, as depicted by the image on the bottom. There were lots of enhancements made to Power BI models so that they closely represent Azure Analysis Services model. And we are going to discuss one important aspect of that, which is introduction of an XMLA endpoint for Power BI workspaces and other code elements. So let's see what are the advantages we have in utilizing the XMLA endpoints within Power BI workspaces. To start off, let's go to a Power BI portal where we have some workspaces set up which contains few of the deployed code artifacts. For every workspace, which is known as the basic development unit for a Power BI service, there exists a settings which has a premium tab. When you go to the premium tab, there is a section which shows workspace connection and it shows a URL. This URL represents the XMLA endpoint for the corresponding workspace. So the advantage is that because these workspaces and even each of these code artifacts are exposed as an XML endpoint, we can use this XMLA endpoint within multiple tools so as to access these endpoints and do data reading as well as manipulation through these endpoints. Similar to workspaces, you can also go to datasets and there is also a corresponding XMLA endpoint for the datasets. So if you go to a dataset and click on the ellipsis and choose the settings option, you can go to the server settings and there is an option which shows the connection string. This is also another example of a XMLA endpoint URL. So what we can do now is that we can go to the workspace and click on settings button and go to the premium tab and you can see the corresponding workspace connection. We are going to copy this URL and we are going to use the XMLA endpoint to connect to this workspace from a different tool. So in our case, we can use the popular client tool called SQL Server Management Studio for connecting to this workspace using this XMLA connection. For that, you can go and open a SQL Server Management Studio, choose Analysis Services, and in the URL, copy the URL that you got from the workspace connection. And for the authentication, we have to select Azure Active Directory Universal with MFA, and we need to choose the same account that we used for logging into our Power BI portal and click on connect. Once prompted, enter your password and wait for it to connect to the workspace through its XMLA endpoint. Once connected, expand the databases and you can see the deployed Power BI models as databases within your SQL Server Management Studio. So you can click on your desired data model and you can see all the tables which are available inside the data model. So this corresponds to each of your data models and you will be able to run queries against these data models and do data analysis, and you should be using DAX queries for the same. So there is a button on top called the DAX queries. You can either click on that or click on the new query to open a new query window, and once connected you can query any of the tables available inside your Power BI data model through DAX queries. So we can have a sample. So let's run this query now, and it is basically summarizing the data from sales orders at the item level based on the brands. And as you see, you can get the brand count based on each brand, what was the total number of items that got ordered. So what you have done here is we have connected to the workspace through the XMLA endpoint, and from inside that we are accessing one of the deployed Power BI models and querying it using DAX queries. This is one of the aspect of using the XMLA endpoint. Here we are using it for data reading. Now let's look at another example where we are going to write data into your Power BI workspace by utilizing this XMLA endpoint. For illustrating the read-write side of the XMLA endpoint, we have opened a project inside a tabular analysis services template. So Power BI model closely resembles analysis services tabular model. Hence what we are going to see here is to create a project using analysis services tabular and deploy it into Power BI workspace. Since they are equivalent, this will work. This will create a dataset inside your pointed workspace. So let's see how we can do that. So for that, we will again go back to our workspace at first, go to the settings, and we can go to the premium tab, and we can copy the workspace connection URL which corresponds to the XMLA endpoint. Then we can come back to our tabular project which we have created inside Visual Studio, go to the project properties, and inside the server we can set the corresponding URL which points to your workspace, and we can give a name for the database and the model name. Once this is done, our project is now ready for deployment to the workspace. Then we can click on OK, and we can go to build and build the solution to make sure that we don't have any issues with the current tabular project. Please keep in mind that for this to work, your tabular compatibility should be 1500. So once you have built the solution, now you can go and click on deploy solutions. Now it will try to deploy the model that you have created inside your analysis services tabular project into the Power BI workspace. Now you have to select your required login, which is the same account that you used for creating your Power BI portal, and when prompted you can type your password. Once it's successfully connected, it will start the deployment process, and you can see the progress inside your deployment screen, and it prompts for your data source credentials. You can enter that at this point in time. Once it starts deployment, it will show you the progress, and first time when you deploy it, it will show a success for the deployment of metadata, and for processing each of the tables it will throw you an error. This is perfectly expected because at this point of time the metadata has been successfully processed and deployed to your Power BI workspace, but the Power BI workspace currently doesn't have the credentials for successfully processing the data. That is why it throws this error. When you get this error, you need to click on close and go to your workspace, and from there you can set the credentials for your data source. Inside the workspace, you choose your data source which you have currently deployed from the analysis services tabular project. I have given the name analysis services tabular for easy recognition. There you have settings, go inside the settings, and you have the data source credentials. There the credential is not currently set, you need to set up the credentials, and because in this case the data source is in an on-premise system, you need to set up a data gateway for the same. Once you set up the data gateway and is registered, and once it is up and running, you can now go back to your data source and again click on the settings. And now because the gateway is available, you will be able to go and add your data source inside your gateway. So in this case the data source is OLAP or ABC bikes OLAP. So just map it to the gateway and click on apply. So that means every time now you are going to refresh this data source, the gateway is going to act as a bridge between your local system and the Power BI service, and Power BI service will be able to refresh the data through this gateway connection. So now that you have mapped it, now you can go to the data source connections, and you can see that the credentials has been successfully entered. So now that the credentials are successfully entered, now let's come back and do the deployment once again so as to refresh the data inside your Power BI dataset that is created using the analysis services project. Come back to your analysis services tabular project, click on build and click on deploy solution again. This time you can see that the deployment as well as the data processing will be successful. As you see in this case, the deployment of metadata is successful as well as the data for each of the tables has been also successfully processed. You can also see the number of rows that it picked up as a part of the process. So now your Power BI dataset will have the entire data. Now let's go back to the service and create a report using this dataset. So go back to your workspace, click on the dataset, and there is an option to create a report from scratch. Select it. Automatically you will be provided with a report creation screen similar to the one that you see inside your Power BI desktop, and you can see your entire model with the tables there, and you can select the measures from that and select the corresponding attributes. As you see, we have created a report using brand name on rows and category name on columns, and we have added the cumulative quantity and revenue as the measures. So all this data comes from your analysis services model that you have created inside Visual Studio. Now if you want to add or do any modifications to this, you can go back to the project and do that. So let's do small modifications and see how it gets reflected inside your Power BI workspace. So go back to your tabular project, go to the staff table, and we'll add a new column called staff name, and we'll set it to the concatenation of first name and the last name. Similarly, we'll go to customers, and thereafter there also we will add this new column, which will be the concatenation of first name and last name. Now that we have added the new columns to the model, let's again deploy the solution. Once deployed, let's come back and refresh the dataset. First save the report and then click on the refresh on top and see the changes inside your model. Once you click refresh, you can come back and check your model and see the new columns. You can see the customer name inside customer column and also the staff name inside the staff columns, which indicates that the changes that you did to the model from analysis services project has been reflected inside your Power BI dataset. So this is how you modify or change the existing structure of tables within your model from your analysis services project. This gives a good opportunity for people who already have cube development skill sets to be a part of Power BI development by using Visual Studio environment itself for creating Power BI datasets. Once they create the required datasets, they can deploy it to the workspace, and then the people who wanted to create report out of them, they can use these datasets inside Power BI service itself and create reports just like what we have seen in this case. So this gives the XMLA read-write aspect of the XMLA endpoint, which is attached to the Power BI workspace. So we have seen two simple examples of how we can use the XMLA read as well as the XMLA read write capability of Power BI. Please note that we can also use many other types of tools, like for example PowerShell, to do similar kind of maintenance as well as development activities on Power BI workspaces, or even other code artifacts like data sources like data source refresh, etc. Hope this quick illustration gives you a good start on understanding how the XMLA endpoint capability of Power BI can be used for creating and maintaining Power BI datasets from outside the Power BI desktop. As specified, this enables people having analysis services skill set to be also a part of Power BI development activity. As usual, keep sending your comments and feel free to follow my videos for getting useful tips like this. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for getting notifications for the future videos. Meet you soon with another useful tip like this. Till then, bye and thanks for your time.